warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, meet again with me today, Faldi in Mata Faldi. Of course, today I'm not alone. I'm accompanied by my friend Faisal. How are you, Faisal?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
Okay. How is the final activity?
Not doing anything. Yesterday also just returned from Japan. So we are there doing conservation about cleanliness.
Damn, that's good.
Yes, right. There is also a clean country because the people they are already aware of the cleanliness of the environment. While in our country, the people is still don't care about the environment.
Well, that's right. Even my neighbors often take out the garbage in front of my house.
That's the function of our conservation yesterday. How to foster a sense of community, care for the environment.
How do governments effort there so that the people have awareness of their environment?
Since primary school, they do not know the formula like education in our country.
Oh yes? Education in our country is like that, right? Was the education contain formula such as trigonometry, Pythagoras? To be honest, I did not pass the lesson when I was elementary school.
Well, if they are different, they are top manners, care for the environment and others.
Oh, so it's like that you all activity there?
Yes, more or less.
Speaking of cleanliness, I invite some of our resource person who are expert also about the environment, namely the Mr. Bima, the Minister of the Ministry of the Environment, Mr. Bima Pratama. Please, sir.
Thank you. Can I sit?
Yes, of course.
I first also thought that this Mister was bit old. It turned out to be young.
Yes, that's right. I was appointed to the ministry when I was young.
So we both discuss about the environmental cleanliness, sir. The result of my friend's conservation of the country of Japan, sir. As we know, this country of Japan, when compared to Indonesia, is very different, which is where the level of awareness of the environment of the people there is already very good. How do you respond to public awareness of the environment today?
As we know, this country of Japan is already very good in terms of environmental clean lines. When compared to Indonesia, this is like heaven and earth.
Very true, sir. As I know, even the transit in Japan contains fish and the water is very clear. In contrast to Indonesia, whose content are waste of collector.
Japanese and Indonesian society have different disciplines. Japanese society is very obedient to the rules, and how to dispose of garbage Japanese society is also regulated. Different from Indonesia, where the way of disposing of garbage has been regulated, but the people who are less concerned and do not have concern for the environment. This is why I say the discipline and awareness of the Japanese and Indonesian people are very different.
Talking about the environment, now there is a lot of illegal logging. There is even a large area that had caused smoke a few years ago. So what is the condition of the forest in Indonesia?
This logging occurs due to the increasing needs for timber boards in the local and international market. And it's influenced by weak law environment factor in Indonesia. So this is illegal. This is illegal logging activity happen so easily. Incidentally, today I invite a guest from the Ministry of Forestry, Mr. Diki. To Mr. Diki, welcome.
Okay.
What's up, Mr. Diki?
Well, thank God.
According to the discussion earlier, sir, according to the Mister, how is the forest in the Indonesia, sir?
Based on the result of analysis from GFW and FWI, the forest area in Indonesia has decreased by 40% within 50 years of the total number of forest areas throughout Indonesia.
That's right. The value set by WHO earlier is estimated to be equivalent to deforestation of 2 million hectares every year. If this continue to happen, the forests in Indonesia are expected to continue to decline and may be lost in the next few years.
This case is suspected to be a form of illegal logging that occurs in West Nusa Tenggara. The area of the forest loss is about 40 hectares and its purpose is for the clearing of agricultural land in a protected and production forest area.
Perhaps from Mr. Rima and Mr. Diki can have the consequence caused by illegal logging?
Of course, the first impact is loss of soil fertility. When the forest in the trap of the trees, this results in the soil absorbing too much sunlight so that it becomes very dry and arid. Up to the nutrition in the soil are violated. In addition, rain that wash away the remain of nutrition from the therefore when the soil have a loss of nutrition, reforestation become difficult and on the land become impossible.
The second impact is causing floods. One of the functions of forest is to absorb quickly and store large amounts of water when heavy rains occur. But when the forest is deforested, this is of course disrupt to the flow of water and causes stagnant water and floods to flow into residential areas.
Can practice illegal logging cause like forest fire or something else like landslide?
Very can. This happens because there are no more tree roots that absorb and retain water in the soil. If it related to the forest, it must have a very dangerous impact. There can be landslides, forest fires, declining water source, and diversity extension.
It is very correct, the opinion of this gentleman, that this tree has a very important role. So, is there a role for the government in tackling the problem of illegal logging in the country?
Of course, the role of the government has been carried out for a long time, such as conducting, consolidating reforestation, tightening supervision forests, and also enforcing laws on illegal logging.
Means that the government has tried to deal with this problem, but there are some people who still do not comply with the existing regulation.
Yes, that's right, bro. Faisal, I mean, for example, in my village where the security is still lacking, so I hope that the community can also take a role in the protecting and preserving the forest. So the community does not only depend on the government in protection the forest.
Yes, I totally agree, because we as a society must also participate in maintaining so that the next generation can feel the fresh air.
If these individuals continue to do so, then the next generation will surely feel the impact instead of breathing oxygen, but instead inhaling dust.
So the role of the community is very important in various things, such as preserving the surrounding environment. For example, not littering, not logging legally. I mean, we cannot continue the depends on the government because we as a unit must also work together, preserving our own country.
So let us be equal in protecting on our environment because a healthy body starts from a healthy environment.
Maybe that's our podcast on this day. Thanks to the source words who took the time to be present at today. Today podcast, I mean. I Faldi. See you in the next podcast of Mata Faldi. That's all from me. Thank you.